There are 5 basic tastes. You've probably heard of them: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. But there's an incredibly vast world of food and flavors. So what exactly is flavor? And can I, just a regular guy, really figure out how to understand and enjoy food even more than I do? So I talked to some experts, and it turns out that I can. And so can you. But you have to start somewhere. I'm Evan Young, and this is Fever for Flavor. In one hand, imagine I'm holding a slice of cake, and in the other hand, a slice of pie. I've got a pair of reflective sunglasses on, and I'm asking you to choose. Which one are you going with? For me, it's going to be cake all day. I'm not a discerning person when it comes to cake. Honestly, I'm going to eat whatever you put in front of me for dessert, and I'm probably going to enjoy it. But if it's a 1.5-pound slice of German chocolate cake from Street Delicatessen, or it's a delicious cream cheese icing carrot cake, I am going to enjoy that cake a whole lot more, trust me. So when I came across The Sugary, a delightful little cake shop a block from Rittenhouse, and owner Lesly McDevitt agreed to talk to me, I was extremely happy. Before you even listen to this episode, stop now. Go look at the photos of some of her cake creations at thesugaryphilly.com. You're going to see what I mean right away. Lesly is making some of the most fabulous looking, picturesque cakes I've ever seen. We sat down at her shop together. We nestled into the cleanly decorated pastel vibes, and we went down the rabbit hole. We covered how these cakes are sculpted, how they're layered, and how bullets are sweated out when they're transported to a wedding. All that and more is coming next on Fever for Flavor. So Lesly, thank you very much for having me in this space here. I cannot even begin to tell you how adorable The Sugary is.
Thank you.
Especially here on the inside. I mean, the outside is so inviting, and you're in an awesome location. You're right off of Rittenhouse, which is great.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
My first question for you is, you can think about the world of modern cuisine and cooking and trying to run a modern restaurant, what it's like to be a typical chef today at any one of the restaurants in Philadelphia. But you don't do that. So yes. Can you describe for me and for the listeners what is unique and different and challenging and fun about the world that you inhabit when you're thinking about cakes and desserts, and particularly like some of the wedding cakes that you do, which are gorgeous? And, what is your world like?
Very early mornings. I think that's a big difference between bakeries, cafes, and restaurants. Very early mornings, and probably the precision of it. It is a science. You can't put a little extra of this or forget to put the eggs in and put it in the oven and expect it to come out the same way. You're basically starting from scratch, which is horrible because there's not really a way to fix that. So the precision of it is a challenge some days. You definitely have to be focused. You have to be paying attention. You have to be measuring everything correctly. So I think probably that is probably the biggest difference between a restaurant and a bakery.
So are you ever flying off the cuff? I mean, so watching my grandmom, for example, in her kitchen, there was really never any recipes she was going off of. It was always just, you grab enough of this and you grab some of that, particularly with like spices and things like that. And I'll do the same thing. If a recipe calls for like a half a teaspoon, I'm just like, all right, if that's half a teaspoon or if it's a tablespoon, I don't know. I'm just putting it in.
Yeah.
But so you can't do that.
No. Especially for like the consistency of it. If you're producing the same type of desserts weekly that customers come in and expect to taste a certain way and look a certain way, you definitely can't be messing around with like quantities and measurements. You definitely want to make sure you're doing it the same every time. When I'm experimenting with recipes, I'll definitely not be so exact until you get to that final recipe where it's exactly how you want it to be. But for everyday recipes that we've established and tested a million times, there's no playing around with it.
What is that line to walk between an eighth of a teaspoon? Will that be enough to throw something off or to make it perfect? Or do you have a little bit of wiggle room in there at all? Or is it really super precise?
I think it doesn't have to be like super precise in that way. Like, oh, I added an extra pinch of salt and I was only supposed to add a half a pinch or a half a teaspoon. Yeah, I don't think a little mistake like that would set you off to having a disastrous result.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, you definitely want to be in the ballpark of what the recipe calls for.
Do you refer to yourself as a baker? Is that the right term? Or are you a confectioner? Or are you...
I call myself a baker.
Okay.
I'm not really into the, fancy
okay.
labels.
Okay. Yeah.
What we do here is pretty classic type of desserts. But yeah, I would label myself as a baker.
You talked about science. I mean, you even said the word science. Did you find at some point in your life that you got interested in baking because you need to follow the guide? I feel like I've heard that among people that call themselves cooks or chefs versus those that enjoy baking. And that's like, well, I like to follow the roadmap. Exactly. Because that just appeals to something about how I process the world. So would you think that applies to you too?
Yes, I definitely like structure. I like kind of having the same routine when I come in here on a daily basis. I mean, there's always like different cakes to make or different types of orders, but it's like I wake up at 5, I come in and I do this, and then I do this, and then I'm moving on to filling the cakes for tomorrow. So yeah, I definitely like the same type of routine every day.
So then when it's time for you to start tinkering, and I have a lot of questions, I think, about, how you create the flavors that you work on. I love that you're so kind of flavor conscious or flavor forward, especially with the descriptions of some of the things that you create here. What does it look like when you're tinkering then? How often do you have to repeat the same thing over and over before you feel like you've nailed it?
Oh, it just kind of depends on what I'm working on. Like when we were opening, I know I wanted to do an almond croissant cookie, and it was literally like 2 tries and it was perfect.
Wow.
I was like, there's nothing really else I want to do. I'm good. Let's move on to the next thing. But the past couple of weeks, we've been playing around with our cheesecake recipe. And I'd say that we're probably like on the 8th try of that. And it's still not anywhere where I want it to be.
Not close yet, huh?
No.
Okay.
So it's always different.
Yeah. So if you're on the 8th try of something, then is that, okay, you're just plowing through it 3 times in a day, or are you giving yourself a mental break from it and coming back to it a week later?
Yeah, I definitely need a mental break after a while, because it just you get frustrated when it's not coming out how you want it to be, and just like a slight little change in the temperature or how much moisture's in the oven can just change something. So yeah, I definitely take a break when it's getting to me, and then maybe just move on to another thing I'm experimenting with, and that might only take 1 or 2 tries.
Okay, so let's just take the first 3 attempts at a cheesecake, for example. And I have a cheesecake recipe in my family that has been around for decades.
Yeah,
that I really love. So I feel like cheesecake is its own unique, awesome thing. So maybe we can also talk about cheesecake, because I don't even feel like it's a cake.
Yeah.
So anyway, so your first 3 attempts at a cheesecake, do you keep them all and do you taste test them against each other, or do you you're trying them as they're done and you just know that it's not there yet and you don't need to kind of go back to compare against the previous versions?
Yeah, I try them as they're done, and then I just kind of move on to what I want to improve from the first try. I don't really keep them all and then kind of taste test them against each other. I just kind of make notes this was, overbaked, or there wasn't enough salt, or I didn't taste the orange. I need to put more moisture in the oven. The oven needs to be lower. So yeah, I definitely take it 1 cheesecake at a time until I get it how I want it to be.
That sounds like it would be a great t-shirt. Yeah. Taking life 1 cheesecake at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is your opinion here kind of are you the chief of the tribe? Do you have a team that you're working with that you also are getting them to try everything?
Yeah, so we have a very small team here. It's just me and my assistant Aubrey, and then John runs the front. So it's just the 3 of us. Sometimes I'll give some of the samples out to customers, get their feedback.
Okay.
Family, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely enough taste testers.
What are you looking for when you give them something to try? I mean, are you looking for that initial kind of physical Like, oh, reaction, or are you listening to what they say a few minutes later?
I mean, it's always nice to get that initial reaction from somebody that they love it, they think it's spectacular, but I also want them to be honest.
Yeah. How are they honest? I mean, even a mediocre cheesecake is still kind of delicious, right? So, yeah. How do you draw that out of people?
I honestly just ask them, I'm like, just be honest. You won't hurt my feelings. Because that's kind of the whole point of why we're doing it. I definitely try to get things to be near perfect. I have tried to definitely let some of that go a little bit. Like sometimes I overthink it and, it's really good, but yet I'm like, oh, I don't know yet. So, but yeah, I really do want like honest feedback for sure.
Yeah. You said it was an almond croissant cookie?
Yes.
What exactly is a croissant cookie?
So it sort of has the inside of the cookie, like the center of the cookie sort of has the same texture of how an almond croissant is. It kind of has like that gooey, a little bit underbaked texture in the middle. We put some sliced almonds on top of it before we bake it and then dust it with powdered sugar when it comes out of the oven. So you're kind of getting that same sort of texture from the inside of a almond croissant in cookie form.
So you said that was something that you knew you wanted to do right out of the gate. You kind of nailed it. Now, is that like a staple on the menu?
That's one of our most popular items for sure. We have that every day.
So in terms of some of the flavors of the things that you offer from the cabinet here or what you can cook on the wedding cake, is it just wedding cakes or is it more than?
We do all sorts of custom
events?
cakes, birthdays, anniversaries.
Yeah. So on the cake end of what you offer, what are some of the flavors that you're covering?
So I like classic flavors. I feel like that's sort of our customer base too. I don't think they're looking for anything too like wild or like out there or exotic. I love all the classic flavors, lemon, vanilla, chocolate. We do like one lemon cake. It has a vanilla bean, buttercream, and lemon curd. And then we soak it, instead of simple syrup, we soak it like in lemonade to give it like a little bit more lemon flavor. I also like had this idea in my mind. I wanted to take like elements of cookies and incorporate that into a cake. So we do a chocolate chip cake with Oreo buttercream and golden Oreo crumble and like a malted milk cake soak. So yeah, we definitely take classic flavors and upgrade them a little bit.
A little spin on them. Yeah. One of the most interesting questions I feel like I can ask you if we talk about sort of just cake and occasion-based baking is how do you rectify that you've created this thing that is it's artwork and the enjoyment of it is kind of in the destruction of that thing. I mean, as a baker, is that a thing or is that just like, you get over that pretty quickly?
That's never even affected me at all. You get like this initial reaction from clients when they see it, like, oh, it looks so beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. And then you get like that other reaction when they actually taste it. So, I kind of like to see how the reaction is like once they actually taste it.
So what do you do then for if it's like a wedding and you have to do a taste test ahead of time? How are you providing that to your customers? Yeah,
so we do like a bi-monthly wedding cake tasting box. So it has 8 slices of cake, all different flavors, and they just come pick it up, take it home. We tell them how to like let it sit at room temp for a couple hours just so you get like the right consistency of the cake and the frosting. Also, they can come in and buy like cupcakes or cake slices that we have in store because the cake that we use for our cupcakes and wedding cake, it's all the same recipe. So if they're going to eat a cupcake from the store, like a chocolate cupcake with vanilla frosting there, and they pick that as their wedding cake, it's going to taste exactly the same.
Yeah. So the form will change, but essentially it's the same recipe.
Exactly.
Got it. But you've got such a wide range of cake styles and artistry, I think, that goes into those cakes.
Yeah.
Do people say, hey, I'm kind of looking for something like this? Or do they just say, take it away, do whatever you want, and it's going to be amazing? It's
rare that you get that. I wish you'd get it more because I feel like that's when we create the best looking cakes is when you have more freedom to kind of do what you want. I try to like take my own opinions of what I think would look well on their wedding cake and give them suggestions. And, sometimes they take my suggestions and sometimes they just know what they want. And that's fine too. I mean, it's your wedding. You should have what you want.
Yeah. I mean, I would want the artist to go ahead, do whatever you think. I mean, to me, that would be so much fun. But obviously, we all know how weddings can go, right? And that's, there's a hyper specific requirement for nearly everything that happens at a wedding. So what's your, just total fun question here, what's your breakdown of groom requests on the cake versus bride requests? Are you ever really dealing with grooms?
Sometimes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Sometimes, the majority of the time, it's always the bride. But sometimes they get involved as much as the bride does.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's nice to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember going way back. So we just had our 15th anniversary and we did cupcakes for our wedding.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We tried a lot of different cupcakes. But yeah, I did the taste testing. But after that, I'm like, all right, I don't, this is your show.
Yeah. I had a couple reach out right when I first started, and he came by himself. She didn't even come, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool."
It's like buying the ring again.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Do you have some of the flavors of cakes that you offer that you feel like a little on the funkier end? Because I definitely remember reading some descriptions on your site where I was like, wow, that sounds cool and imaginative for sure.
Yeah. I feel like that happens if a couple does their tasting and they sort of come to me and say, well, what do you think of this? Or what do you think of that? I had a couple do carrot cake with strawberry buttercream filling. And I thought that was, to me, that's not a pairing.
Yeah.
But they said everybody loved it. Everybody thought it was amazing. And then I had a couple, they wanted to do a sweet potato cake with green tea buttercream filling. And the same thing, but they said everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. As an audio podcast, I think my face is maybe not responding to the green tea.
Yeah.
I mean, well, green tea has a flavor alone, but that
with the sweet potato. Yeah. They liked it though.
Okay.
Right?
Well, as long as they liked it. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had an experience where you were really like, this is a great thing that I feel like that I've made, but then the reaction is like, oh, well, I wish it were something different. How do you navigate that?
You can't take anything personal. I mean, it's just people's taste. That's just something that didn't work out for them. I mean, I just try to say I've gone to restaurants or other places and I didn't like something. It's just everybody's taste is different.
Now, even going to a restaurant, having a dessert there, or entree or whatever, going out any place here, I used to try to feel like I have to enjoy everything because you're going out and you're spending money and it's a little bit of an event. I mean, even if you're just walking out of your house and getting in your car and going someplace, it feels like something a little bit special. But I don't always like everything. And it's kind of a bummer. I try to. I really want to. But sometimes I feel like something will just miss. And it is sort of a shame. But I'm never going back and talking to I don't ever say to the server, oh, hey, send this. To me, there's a certain kind of person that's complaining and sending things back that, unfortunately, that would be a great feedback maybe for you that I should be doing that, or maybe people should be doing that, but that goes against my personality.
And I think, too, if you work in this industry, you have a more understanding of that. People have bad days. I have bad days where I mess stuff up and maybe it, got out into the bakery case and I didn't realize it. And it's just, we're not robots. It's all handmade product and mistakes happen. So, sometimes you got to give people a little bit of grace too.
Sure. So is there a way that you process how you want something to look in the end as far as a cake goes that feels more like you are a sculptor? Because the way that you design these, it looks to me, it's not just art when you photograph it, but I mean, this is 3-dimensional. It's got some flair and some touches of actual sculpting. Do you have to create a visualization of that in your head before you start?
Sometimes, I definitely look on Pinterest a lot. When I'm on Instagram, I'm definitely saving a lot of things to kind of get inspiration from. I mean, sometimes clients give me a picture and this is exactly what they want. And, you know, I always say, like, it's not going to be exact. I can get it as close as possible because it's not my work. But yeah, I definitely sort of save a lot of images and kind of send those along to clients based off of what they're telling me they want.
Yeah.
And sort of take it from there as far as the design of it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you went to culinary school here in Philly, right?
The restaurant school.
Oh, the restaurant school. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you always been in desserts and baking, or did you get kind of a broader education there?
You had to take some culinary classes there, but I'd say 90% of it was all the pastry classes.
Yeah. Did you go into it saying, I know I want to do this, but I'm going to learn a couple of different things?
So there's like certain classes that are just required. You do like a bread class, you do a chocolate class, you do an ice cream class. You definitely get a wide range of classes when you go there. I did the 2-year program, so it was like a little bit of everything. There wasn't like one thing that you focused on.
Yeah.
But when I was in culinary school, I hated cake decorating. That was the worst class.
That doesn't sound possible.
That was the worst class for me. I hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, but then how did you end up, what was the frustration there?
I think not being able to get it learn it quickly, like get it to where it needed to be. Like I just wasn't good at it, and that was frustrating.
Yeah.
I wasn't like catching on to it.
Yeah.
I think that was what was frustrating.
So what are some of the things you've learned along the way that help a cake go from the idea that you have for what it's going to look like into actually being presented and created the way you want it to be? I mean, I find it interesting because there's structure involved. You almost need like a 3D design template to look at some of these things. So, I mean, did you have some time in there where things are just collapsing and falling over and like not working for you? Or
in school for sure, things were like frustrating. But like one of my first jobs out of culinary school was at another little small pastry shop, and it was just me and the owner, and she just taught me everything. Like she just had so much, it was just me and her. So she had all this time to sort of kind of take me under her wing and teach me how to like stack cakes and how to support them and just the foundation parts of making a tiered cake. So that's definitely where I learned all of that from.
Yeah. Do you get people that come up to you and say, oh my gosh, you got to show me how to do this, that in your head, you're thinking like, well, sure, if you do it day in and day out for the number of years, you'll be able to do it. But it couldn't possibly be that easy to do.
Yeah, it's practice. The way I did cakes out of culinary school, or even like when I started this business, they look like it evolves, like your taste evolves and the look evolves. So no, it's completely different based off of just practice and just trying to get better, more modern, show different techniques.
Yeah. So as far as the flavor of cakes go, do you need to kind of layer the flavor into the icing? Does it need to be in the, I don't know what you want to call it, but is it icing that's in between the kind of the middle part of the cake? Yeah. Is that also icing?
So we usually do
filling.
We use a Swiss meringue style of buttercream.
Okay,
and that's what's in the majority of our cakes. Okay. And then sometimes we'll pair that like with lemon curd, or like we have like a roasted strawberry cake where we roast strawberries with some like sugar, brown sugar, vanilla bean paste, and that's like another layer with the buttercream.
Okay,
but all of our cakes have a buttercream component to them.
So is the cake part itself not really where the flavor profile of the cake as a whole is coming from? Is that for lack of a better word, is that kind of like structural and ballast, as and all of the driving forces of the flavor of a cake are in the icing and in the layers?
For us, that's how I kind of focus on it. Like, you have like the basic like chocolate, vanilla, red velvet cakes, and then more of the flavor components are definitely coming from the fillings. That's at least how I look at it.
Okay. Red velvet.
Yeah.
What the hell is red velvet for real? I've heard people say like it's just chocolate with a red,
it's
food coloring. Is that true?
Yes. It's just a buttermilk based cake with cocoa and red color.
Okay.
It's not my favorite.
Okay.
Like, I think it's very popular still. People still like it, but...
Was it a little... I feel like there was like a red velvet fad, and maybe that was 20 years ago, but then it stuck, and it's never really gone away. Is that...
Yeah, I think that Magnolia Bakery in New York started that red velvet craziness.
Okay, yeah.
And it kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it probably stuck because it sounds cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, red velvet cake is one of those ones. And usually I'll try if it's like a cupcake. It's like, if there's 10 cupcakes at a place like this, red velvet is like 10th on my list. I'm not going for that one.
Yeah, I always go for chocolate for sure. But yeah, that would be on the bottom of my list too.
Yeah. Is there kind of an overall flavor palette or profile here that is a little more fruity, citrus and some sour touches? Is it more on the chocolatier end of the spectrum, or just you kind of cover all the bases?
I feel like we cover all the bases here. Usually we do about like 6 to 7 cupcake flavors every day. And I feel like 3 of them are chocolate, and then a couple vanilla, and then something fruit. So we try to like put a nice variety of things out. We're not really focused on all chocolate or all vanilla. But chocolate's so expensive now too. So trying not to do too much with chocolate.
Yeah. Do you worry about trends at all out there? I mean, do you kind of keep your ears perked up for trends that you might want to be a part of, or do you just try to stay like, you know what, this is what we offer here, and we're not going to try to go for the next thing? I mean, there was like a cupcake trend, right? A bunch of years ago, and you saw places spring up everywhere, and then a lot of places collapsed, which was a real shame. So how do you respond to trends if you feel like you see one out there?
I don't really pay too much attention to it. I think our bakery just has like a nice variety of all different things. We don't try to really focus on just one thing in particular. I mean, obviously like the cake is the number one, but I mean, all those trends, they come and go. So I feel like if you just have like 5 or 6 categories of things and do them really well, like that's just what I try to focus on.
Yeah. When you're going to create something new, do you think about, okay, here's the current lineup of what we have, and now I'm trying to fill a space in that lineup with something that has a flavor profile that I don't think we're covering? Or are you coming at it differently, where you're just like, blank slate, let's just create something delicious? Or do you have a different kind of a system where how are you organizing your thoughts around a new creation?
Definitely seasonal stuff. Like I think about that, like, because fall's coming. So, think about like sweet potatoes and pumpkin and apples. I have so many recipes, like when magazines were popular, that I've like clipped out. I mean, I have stacks and stacks. Yeah. So I've always like organized those over the years and kind of pull them out when I'm trying to think of something new to make. Like last week, I noticed like we had so many pistachios. So I was like, let's make a pistachio cake. So I don't really have like one set way I go about coming up with something new, but definitely like magazines, like Pinterest, things I've saved on Instagram. I kind of like scroll through that. Yeah.
Do you have people in your family that clip and send recipes to you?
Oh, my sister's constantly sending them through Instagram. Yeah. You should make this. You should do this. You should do that. Yeah. I'm like, that would take like 5 hours to do that.
That's fun. A long time ago, it was a Thanksgiving, and our kids were super young, a few months old, and the older one was a couple years. And we were like, okay, we volunteer for dessert. And I found like a Bon Appetit recipe. And Bon Appetit, fun magazine. My mom got it when I was a kid at home. So I would like flip through, and everything sounds so amazing, and everything looks so delicious. But holy shit.
Starting it.
Dessert was like, it was seriously, we were like 8 hours into it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't think we're near the end yet. And at the end, I mean, it was like a 10-hour extravaganza, and it was good. And it had some kind of like a spiced apple caramel sauce for the topping. It might have been some kind of a bread pudding thing, which is supposed to be super simple, but it ended up
some of those recipes are like next level. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even, like I'm not even attempting that.
I think it was a good way to start to think about recipes, and especially now with kids at home for me, one of the first things I'm looking at is how much time it's going to take.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like if it's like over an hour, like I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, please.
I want something a little easier.
Yeah. Do people ever ask you about recipe books and if you have one and when you're going to have one and how do I get my hands on some of the things that you do?
Like me writing a cookbook?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I haven't had anybody ask me that.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, but is that because just looking at the cakes that you're making, like there's no way I'm doing that at home.
More like the simple things would definitely make sense, like the cookies and the cupcakes, brownies. And I feel like all those are much more friendly when you're starting out baking, not like jumping right in and doing a 3-tier wedding cake off the bat.
So can you enjoy a box cake from the store the way the rest of us can, or is it done forever?
No, I think box cakes are fine. I don't ever eat cake though. I don't like to eat cake. I think it's because you're just making it all the time. So I want ice cream if I want something sweet.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Yeah,
that
I don't ever
amazing.
crave a slice of cake. No, never.
I guess I can get that. I mean, I would understand if you're around it all day long. Yeah.
I mean, I love sweets, but never cake.
Yeah. So you're an ice cream person.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's something that I don't think that I would have guessed. So there you go. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How does a vanilla cake ultimately have to balance differently from a chocolate one or a carrot cake, for example? I mean, is a carrot cake, or do you sometimes have to think about like, okay, I just need to balance this out differently if somebody's like, give me a strawberry carrot cake?
I just kind of go back just classic flavors. Like when we were doing our vanilla buttercream, like I'm like, it's just not like vanilla-y enough. Like you want that like nice vanilla flavor. So like instead of extract, like we started using like vanilla bean paste. Carrot cake, like I started like adding like some more like spices to it, like nutmeg and cardamom, and just trying to like get the flavor to where I want it to be, just kind of playing around and, just making it more intense. Yeah.
So if something has too much X or Y or Z in it, I mean, salt is like an easy one, right? If it's got a little too much salt, then I think everybody can pick that out. But if it's a little bit more subtle, how are you navigating that?
I feel like you get the best result when you let other people taste your product, because just because I think it's amazing and good doesn't mean that everybody's going to think that, and you're never going to please everybody. But as long as you can get like the majority to say, wow, that tastes good, it's great, it doesn't need anything, it's balanced, you know, that's kind of what you're going for. But I don't like constantly tasting everything myself and being like, yeah, it's good. You need other people's feedback.
Do some ingredients just lend themselves to being harder to work with on kind of the sculpting side of a cake because they're wetter, trickier?
So if we do tiered wedding cakes, like I don't do like puddings or custards or mousses in them. I just worry about the stability of that sitting out for like, some of these wedding cakes sit out like 3-4 hours. I just worry about it shifting and moving. So I completely stay away from that. If somebody wants like a larger, like single tiered cake, I offer that, but definitely not like tiered options. I only use the buttercream just because that would be horrible if that fell over or
like
shifted or I don't want to deal with that.
You can very easily go down like an Instagram rabbit hole where the algorithm is giving you nothing but like horrible wedding cake disasters.
Cake fails. Try to stay away from that.
Well, you must have a special reaction to that is different for somebody who's making the cake than it is the rest of us for, we're just laughing. But for you,
it'd be horrific. Nightmare come true.
Is there something that you feel would be surprising for people to hear about how cupcakes are made or how cake is made or how your recipes come together here, or even how one of these like really beautiful cakes is made that we just would like blow me away?
I think like just the time and the planning of it. Like there's just so much planning that goes into a wedding cake. You have to have the right board. You have to make sure like the structure is right. I work with a florist like in Old City. Well, I didn't know that flower was poisonous. Like, you don't want that on the cake. Like wrapping the flowers and putting the flowers on the cake, but not having them in the cake. Like it's a lot of little details. And then the transporting of it, that's a whole other nerve-wracking thing. You know, even to this day, any like wedding cake delivery, I'm still like, oh my gosh.
To get
just
it
get
from,
there in one piece.
You make it here in your kitchen and then and you deliver. So, okay. Huh.
Yeah.
That would be hair-raising to be driving down the Schuylkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The potholes and the city parking. And
how do you secure a cake down then? What do you...
So if it's like a 4-tier cake, I deliver it in pieces and then I stack it there just for my own like peace of mind. Like if it's a stacked 4-tier cake and I deliver it and, you know, something happens, it's a lot harder to fix if it's all stacked rather than if it's in like 4 separate pieces.
Okay.
2-tiered cakes I'll deliver stacked, but anything above that, I like to send it in pieces. That's why you can fix it if something major happens.
Do you have any horror stories that you want to, I mean, did you... And did a cake not make it there?
No,
someday?
I have not had a horror story.
Okay. Keep
my fingers crossed. I have not had anything. I had a cake I had to deliver to Stone Harbor, and that was definitely the scariest cake I've ever, because it was summer and it was like when I first started and I was just nervous but it made it there in one piece, but no horror stories yet.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, a lot of planning. It's very stressful. You know, you don't want to ruin somebody's
Do you feel
wedding
the
day.
Stress of a wedding day every time you're making a wedding cake?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't gotten used to that at all. I still get nervous. It's such an important day for people. You don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
I'd feel horrible.
Well, that's interesting because the cake is, I mean, there's a few things that are like, obviously the people getting married and the event is like the start. That's the event and they're the star of the show. I mean, the cake is like a pretty important component of the entire experience.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember bad wedding cakes, but if the cake is good, I'm walking out of that wedding being like, that cake was great.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure. So, but I can't imagine being in your situation where you're feeling the weight of a person's wedding over as a part of like your business.
Yeah. I just take it like not personal, but I don't know. You just want everything to go right.
Well, I think one thing that's interesting about all of this is that somebody comes through the door here and they're going to come in with a set of expectations. And like you said, if I'm going into a cupcake place, like I want to know there's going to be a chocolate, one or ones. There's going to be probably a vanilla, a buttercream one. Fingers crossed there's a carrot cake one, but maybe you're not always getting that. Do you feel like you have to have enough on hand to kind of respond to the basic expectation of people walking in the door? And then do you have some of the ones that you would consider to be a little bit more special and a little bit more different that you have to sort of push people into enjoying?
So we've only been open, we've like hit our year mark a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's sort of like the frustrating part. There's no like pattern to anything yet. I mean, there's definitely like favorites that we always like keep on hand. Like we always have like funfetti. We always have like a vanilla bean cupcake. We always have like a chocolate peanut butter. And then we try to like mix up more seasonal options. Or if I have a cake that week that's red velvet with raspberry, we'll put that in there. But yeah, there's definitely like a balance of trying to like keep enough stuff in stock that, it's interesting to people and they want to come back and it doesn't always look empty. But then you get other days where like somebody will come in and buy 36 cupcakes and then it's like you look like you're wiped out and like what's going on here? We've only been open for 2 hours and there's nothing here. So we're definitely still trying to figure all that out, and maybe we'll like just never figure it out because there's just not really a pattern yet.
Well, I have to imagine that you will, though,
Yeah.
right? I mean, a year is not a very long time to be in business and to figure those patterns out. You mentioned that a couple of different times now, whether you've got, X, Y, or Z back in the kitchen, and that will kind of lead you to a new thing in that moment. So is that kind of a regular thing? Is just like, okay, we got this, so we're making that.
Yeah, if we have like excess of something, like before I said we had like an excess of pistachios, so that's how we ended up like with we did like a pistachio like bundt cake. But yeah, there's definitely the favorites that are always going to be in there, like tiramisu is really popular, like banana pudding, like that stuff's never going to go away. But like we introduced peach cobbler cup a couple weeks ago just to have something seasonal in there. And then just kind of see how people respond to it. Like sometimes we put stuff out and it doesn't move at all. And, you got to give it a little bit of time to see if people like it. But sometimes stuff's just like a flop.
Yeah.
And you just got to move on and try something else.
Is there anything that you won't make because you just personally won't? You don't like it, but that people might like it, but like, I ain't making that because it's not my thing.
We don't cover cakes in fondant, and we don't make fondant heavy decorated cakes.
Okay.
That's just not something I'm into. I mean, I appreciate like the look of it and the talent behind it, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not how I was taught out of culinary school, and I don't have the patience for it either. Like it's just very tedious and temperature sensitive and just not for me.
I don't 100% actually understand what fondant is. Is it fondant or fondant?
Is it called fondant?
All right, we'll call it fondant for
we
now.
don't need to be fancy.
Yeah, we don't need to be fancy. I don't quite know what it is, but I know that it seems like something that is created much more for its visual appeal as opposed to actually how it tastes.
It's like what you said. It's more for like very like heavy like sculpted cakes, or if you want like a cake to look like, like Super Mario Brother or something like that.
Yeah.
That's definitely like what you would use fondant for. Like I call them like Cake Boss looking cakes. Yeah. That's never something I ever wanted to do. I just like simple. Looks pretty, tastes good.
What I think is interesting about that is, sure, if you wheel in a 8-foot tall Super Mario Brothers cake into a bar mitzvah or something like that, everybody's going to freak out.
Yeah.
But like for me as a guest, if I were there, I mean, it would be cool, but I still want it to taste good.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't taste good, I'm going to be like, I mean, the cake was neat, but it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're always making sure to straddle the line between needs to present well and it needs to taste great? Or is it just like, at the end of the day, the taste is more important, the flavor is more important?
I think they're equally as important. Like I want stuff to look clean and nice, and, we took the time to really make you a beautiful cake, but, it also has to taste good too. I definitely want to have an equal balance of both for sure.
Do you have a personal favorite? If you were to suggest like, hey, come in to, the Sugary, you're going to want to try this.
Of anything or just cake? Or
of what you have here. Here in the...
I mean, I think our tiramisu's really good. I learned that from that job I was talking about, like right out of culinary school. I think that's really good. And as far as like cake flavors go, I think the roasted strawberry is really good.
I had a roasted strawberry thing just the other day. I thought that was by far the most unique thing that they had there. It was a part of the dessert.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's really neat. But I don't remember ever seeing roasted strawberry ever before.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that you just mentioned it now and I'm seeing it like twice is
just
really
like
interesting.
Intensifies the flavor of the strawberry. It's just, it takes it to like a whole other level.
Well, just this morning, I also happened to have a bruleed grapefruit, like a section of a grapefruit. And I tried it. I was like, oh my gosh, this grapefruit is like so sweet. And I was like, wait a minute, they added sugar to this. Like
Something's
this is
in this.
something. This is
natural.
yeah. I mean, it was very good. I do think that it's okay to not be a purist with some things, right? So like maybe if I ever thought before that like, hey, we shouldn't be roasting our strawberries. Let's just have the strawberry in there.
Yeah.
And if you want that roasted flavor, maybe figure it out some other way. But or if it's a grapefruit, like But now these days, what the hell? I'll even try a little salt on the grapefruit just to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of enhance the flavor a little bit more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for the people who are the bakers at home, do you have any tips or anything that you would say, like, hey, the next time you make a cake, give this a thought?
The over baking really is a downfall, especially like for cookies. Mm-hmm. If you think if you're like kind of like, oh, I don't know if it's done, maybe it's done, just take it out. Because it's still going to cook as it's, cooling. I think that's one of the issues that people starting out have, is definitely the over baking.
Yeah. So I mentioned the family cheesecake recipe that we have, and it's okay if that one comes out a little bit underdone to me, because I like the really, really creamy in middle part of the cheesecake. It's almost like the middle of the watermelon. Like that's the best part. And I don't like the outer edge of it. Yeah. But for me, when I've pushed that cheesecake too far in the oven, then you get the crack, I think, that happens. And then all of a sudden it's
and that like grainy texture. It's not smooth anymore. Yeah. If you're debating whether you think it's done, it's probably likely done. Yeah.
Well, but the same thing applies to chicken breasts or pork chops or other stuff too. It's like, I think the majority of things can probably come out earlier than you think. But we're so like, but with meat, for example, it's always like, oh, to make sure it's cooked all the way and
to a certain temperature and all that.
Yeah. And even last night we were out to dinner. I got a pork chop entree. And the server was like, how do you want it cooked? And I was like, well, how about we just cook it all the way? And she's like, they won't cook it all the way. And I was like, well, what will they cook that is like an acceptable level for me to eat? Where I don't,
You tell me.
Yeah. I mean, it turned out fine. And ultimately it came out and it was cooked all the way, But it's like, all right, guys, come on. For the pork chop, I don't know if I can do
a pinky.
A pink, yeah. But
it's like ordering the well done burger.
I know. Do you do a burger well done?
No, I like medium.
Okay, medium.
Yeah. I don't like it too.
Yeah. Well, burgers are different. I mean, I'll do a burger well done. Well, not well done, but like a medium well.
Yeah.
But I can't, if it's too pink on the inside, then I do start to get a little freaked out. So,
I know. I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, this is about, cakes and desserts. So let's not go into the burger world. As far as the Sugary goes, can you talk to us a little bit about what the future is for you?
We're thinking about doing classes.
Okay.
We'd like to do that eventually. We're thinking about getting on some of the delivery apps, because people are always asking about delivery. That's not something I would want to personally take on. So we might do that.
I think COVID renewed a lot of interest in experiences because all of a sudden everybody was
isolated.
Isolated. So I think it was kind of cool because all of a sudden you could do like an online course, or I could sit with a chef and on Zoom or something. And
I think I would like to do more one-on-one classes. I think that is kind of more what I would feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Just kind of devoting all my time to just like one student at a time.
Yeah.
If that's something that would work.
I'm going to ask you the last question that I ask everybody. If you had to be forced to live without one of the 5 basic tastes, sweet and salty, sour and bitter and umami, which would you take out from the equation and live the rest of your life without?
Probably bitter.
Okay.
You definitely couldn't do the sweet.
Yeah.
And even like bitter, like cranberries are bitter, but you're still going to get that sour from it.
Yeah.
So I would think the bitter would definitely have to go.
No more coffee? No more coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. I'm not a coffee drinker, so that wouldn't affect me.
Even waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to start your daily routine, there's no caffeine in the picture.
I pop right up.
Wow.
I'm so used to that schedule.
Yeah.
Even like 4 o'clock sometimes I'm just laying there and I'm just like, I'm just going to get up.
Yeah. That's
I'm not a night owl.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
In bed by like 9.
Okay. So Leslie, thank you very much. This is such a cool place. I hope everybody comes and checks it out.
Oh, thanks so much.
And if there's anybody out there who's getting married anytime soon, definitely have a look at your site and some of the stuff that you've done, because it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah. We've done some wedding cakes, so can help with that.
Great. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Fever for Flavor, a weekly podcast hosted by me, Evan Young, and produced by Studio D Podcast Production. If you want more content, go to feverforflavor.com. That's fever, the number 4, flavor.com. Feel free to email us at podcast@feverforflavor.com and follow us on Instagram @feverforflavor. Again, that's fever, the number 4, flavor. If you'd like to support Fever for Flavor, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. All you have to do is open up the podcast app on your phone, look for Fever for Flavor, scroll down until you see Write a Review, and tell us what you think. Join me next week as we continue to explore the world of food and flavors here on Fever for Flavor.